Good morning, Spruce Society. How are you? My name is Kelowna Giuliano, and I am excited to be talking about back to school favorites. So I talked about summer must-haves a couple weeks ago, and today I'm bringing you back to school because a lot of us have school-age kids, right? So if you have kids, if you are a parent, if you're a mama, raise your hand. And I would love to hear how many kids you have and what ages your kids are, and if when they're going back to school. So I know some kids start school this month and some kiddos aren't starting school until September. Some of us have preschool age kids, some of us have kids going away to college, and maybe there's grandparents here. So whatever school age kids are in your life, drop their name or their ages below just so we can see who is in this group. I feel like that helps us to stay connected with each other when we can see who has same age kids. So I have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. And that sounds crazy to say because I feel like they were just little not that long ago. But whatever age kids you have, there's a little preparation for going back to school because we're in this like relaxed summer mode. I don't know about your situation, but mine have now started sleeping in. And so there's like a transition that has to happen, big transition from summer to back to school. And their bodies, whatever age they're at, need to kind of prepare for that. And then our goal is like keep the kids in school. Maybe you homeschool. Whatever your situation is, drop it below in the comments so we can see whether they go away to school or whether they homeschool. But we want our kids to be healthy during the school year so we can have time to do our Young Living businesses or do the things that we do outside of the home or whatever we do for work, right? So we need our kids to stay healthy. So number one is supporting their immune system, right? We want their immune system to be really strong. So I love Ningxia Red. How many people here drink Ningxia Red, or do your kids drink Ningxia Red? Drop a heart if you or your kids drink Ningxia Red. So I love the packets, especially for kids that are bringing lunch to school, because you can pop these in the freezer, put it in their lunchbox, and it keeps their lunch cool until later, you know, so then they can open it up and it's kind of slushy or cold. So it works as like an ice pack, and then they're getting all their antioxidants, they're boosting their immune system. I mean, you could let your kids drink this before school or after school also, but it's just kind of a fun, easy thing to put in their lunch because of the way it's packaged. So I love Ningxia Red. Wendy Mercure did a wonderful class in here on Ningxia. If you want to go back and get all the details of why Ningxia Red is the most important supplement that everybody should be taking probably. It's amazing. It's a wolfberry puree, highest antioxidant food on the planet. It's easy, it tastes good, it's the best. So number one, definitely Ningxia Red. Number two, and I talked about this in the summer must-haves also for like traveling, gut health. I'm gonna talk about it briefly again, but Mighty Pro. So these are great. They're like the little kids supplement. It's a prebiotic, probiotic supplement. You tear off the top, pour it in your mouth, tastes like pixie sticks, and it's super good for gut health because we know there's a lot of studies now between gut health and brain health. So if we want kids to be able to focus and function at school, they have to have a healthy gut. And of course, some of that comes from what they're eating, but that's another class, right? Another subject. But definitely what we can do is to support their gut, and that's going to help with so many other systems in their body. And we know that the majority of our immune system lies in the gut. So there's that gut-brain connection, and then it's going to support their immune system so they have less missed school days if they're supporting their gut. So these can be taken anytime. I take them also. I tend to take them at night before bed, and I take Life9 probiotics too, but these are great. So definitely this is easy, it's fun, you know, easy and fun for kids to take, to have something they can just tear off the top and pour it in their mouth. The other great thing, and these are for kids any age. I mean, seriously, they don't have to be little kids to be taking these. Like I said, I take those. And here's another one. How many people use the Kids Sense Unwind? So it comes in the package like that, and it's another little tear off supplement. I take this every night before bed. I take 2 of these. So this has L-theanine, it has magnesium, and it has something called 5-HTP. You don't need to know like what those are, but basically they are for calming, They're also for focus and for brain health. So bodies need to be calm in order to focus. So this could be used at bedtime when you just need your kids to like, or you. I tend to be a little wound up at night too, and I have a hard time settling down if I stay up too late, right? So I need help calming down. If your kids need help like calming down, or if they need help with focus and concentration, this would be a great supplement for them to have in the morning before school, and or they could take it at night before bed. So if you haven't tried this supplement yet, I think it's great. I think it's amazing. It has kind of like a watermelon flavor. It's the sweetener now. They recently changed it to the D-ribose, I think it is. So it's not stevia anymore. So it has a little different flavor. But anyway, I think Unwind is absolutely incredible. Now, I do want to talk a little bit specifically about kids who have attention or focus or sensory issues. We can't talk any specific diagnoses in here, but if you have anyone in your life who, and maybe you are this way. So I have a kiddo who is now 15 and is now amazing and has figured out how to kind of manage some of the things that he came into this world with. However, when he was little, it was out of control. So if you have any kids that struggle, drop a heart or a comment or something. It would be good for you guys to connect, because I know I didn't have a support system and I really, really needed one. I really struggled when my son was about 4, 5, 6 in that area. And that was right toward the end of that was when I discovered Young Living. And he could not sit still. He couldn't even sit in a chair to like finish a meal. He was like all over the place. He was bouncing off the walls. He could not sleep. The boy didn't sleep. It was insanity. His little nervous system was just like all the time. And one thing that really, really helped us, other than Ningxia, so he started drinking Ningxia. I started doing my research. If you guys don't have your, it's right behind me in my little bookshelf, but your pocket reference from Life Science, grab that, because it's such a great resource for looking up specific symptoms and ailments and what Young Living products. But I was looking up all the things for attention and focus and all the things. And I was finding that there is a combination. I made a combination of oils for him based on what I read in that pocket reference. And vetiver, cedarwood, valor, and lavender. I made a combination in a little roller, and at the time he was little, so I named it Maxo Relaxo. Made up a name for it and put some carrier oil. It was like 10 drops of each with carrier in a roller, and I would roll it on his feet and on his spine before bed and before school. And it was like a night and day difference. I mean, he was taking the Ningxia, and we were starting to diffuse and like use other products, and we were doing tons of different kinds of therapy. I mean, the kid was in like all different kinds, occupational therapy, music therapy. He was doing at all these things, like seeing a social worker, everything. We had a whole support team at school, IEP team. Couldn't stay in the classroom alone by himself, had to be pulled out, and was in a special class actually. So anyway, it was crazy. And he started using these oils, and the IEP team met with us, because that's like a regular thing when you have that, if anyone's familiar. They met with us and they were like, hey, like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing differently? He's like sitting still. He's socializing with the other kids. He's like a different kid. And I mean, we were like practically in tears because we had been using the oils and we had seen a difference, you know, but I think like to have someone from the outside say something positive about your kid, and you know, like you've been doing all these natural things, it's like, I don't think it's a coincidence. So I just highly recommend finding different ways to support your kiddo if they struggle with that, with focus and like behavior kinds of stuff, because not only did that blend that I mentioned, and I can go back and like add it in the comments if you guys missed it, or you can rewatch. But the other thing that really helped, which I found out shortly after making that blend was, or maybe this came out then, I don't know, the Reconnect collection. This collection is made for those kiddos that are just like bouncing off the walls, they can't focus, they're struggling, whatever it is. That kit, Reconnect Collection, is made of there's 4 blends in that kit. Some of them you'll be familiar with. Sleepy Eyes and Genius are KidSense oils that you've heard of. So Genius is for brain, Sleepy Eyes is great before bed for calming. But the 2 that you're not gonna find anywhere else except in this Reconnect collection are In Touch and Reconnect. And these are specific blends made for those kiddos. So we started using these on his spine, in the diffuser, on the soles of his feet, and I kid you not, we ran out of one of them. I think it was Reconnect. The first time we like used up the whole bottle, and I was like, oh, we're out, buddy. Like I was like popped the top and like dumping the rest. He like started like crying, and he said, I can't be without those oils. Those oils really help me. And this is a kid who like didn't talk like that, did not communicate those kinds of things, never thought anything was wrong with him, was frustrated and mad all the time. And he like looked me in the eye with like tears. I went straight to my computer. It's like ordering a Reconnect collection. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like overnighting it. I was like, no way. So he felt the difference in his own little body at 5 years old or whatever it was, you know? So anyway, that Reconnect collection with In Touch and Reconnect and Genius and Sleepy Eyes might be super helpful for back to school if you have one of those kids or if you know anyone who does. And then there's 2 more things. So Thieves, which I don't have in front of me. Thieves, like we talked about with the immune system, we talked about the gut health and the Ningxia Red. Everybody needs to have Thieves. So I like the Thieves roll on, whether you're a kid or an adult, for like rolling on the soles of the feet, rolling along the spine. You can also have Thieves in the diffuser. If it's kind of strong, you can like dilute it with a little bit, not dilute it, but I like to do Thieves with lemon or Thieves with orange before or after school, just to kind of like purify the air in case anyone's been exposed to anything at school. And then lastly is Kid Power. So you guys know, or maybe you don't know, Valor is my favorite oil. And I love Valor because it's calming, it's relaxing, it's like brings you back down to earth. It's just very grounding and centering. So when your body does feel a little crazy or you feel stuck up in your head, Valor will bring you back down to earth. It's also, Valor means strength and courage. So I like to rub it over my solar plexus because that's our personal power center. Well, Kid Power is Valor plus vanilla and orange. So it smells like a creamsicle, has all the benefits of Valor, but it's a little more fun. So I love this. I actually been diffusing this with grapefruit. I love Kid Power with grapefruit in the diffuser. You can put it on wrists. It also comes like in a roller, you know, in the KidSense collection with the rollers. But this is just a great one for kids who feel nervous to go to school. And I'm just gonna end with a little story about my daughter, now 13, when she was 5. Went to kindergarten. First day of kindergarten, she was like, later, mom, and just like walked away. And I was like the one crying, you know? I don't know if you guys had that experience where like, it's so hard to let your kid go to school for the first time. You're like happy, but you're sad. And I remember thinking, what? Like no tears? Like she's just like out of here? I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, the second day of school rolled around. She realized like, oh, I have to go here every day. And so it was like horrible tears, you know, the kind of thing where like the teacher is like holding on saying, go, go. And you're like, okay, like running away, like in tears. And the teacher is calling later, like, okay, you know, she calmed down after about 20 minutes or whatever. So we did that for 3 days. And I was like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, I cannot handle that feeling of your kid freaking out and you're like walking away and everyone's looking at you, you know? And so with her, we used Peace and Calming. And I know I talked about Peace and Calming before as a summer must-have, but Peace and Calming might be, sometimes it takes a little experimenting with you and your kiddos to find out what oils work best for them in certain situations. So if Kid Power or Valor isn't doing it, try something else. So we did Peace and Calming on the soles of her feet before we put on socks and shoes on the 4th day of school, because the first day was great. The next 3 days were horrible. And then, so the 4th day, or maybe that was, I don't know. Anyway, we put Peace and Calming on her feet and it was like the first day. It was like, bye mom. Just like walked into school, totally calm. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, was that the Peace and Calming or is she just getting used to school? Well, the following week, Monday or whatever of the next week, we were getting ready to go to school and she reminded me she said, remember, we need to put that oil on my feet so that I don't feel sad when you leave. And I was like, who is this? What? Yes, we do. Oh my gosh. So that's also another cool thing, is your kids will start to tell you what they need when they feel it work in their own body. So whether you have kids going off to college, these would all still be really helpful. Everybody needs gut health, everybody needs immune system support and calming and focus. So I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any favorites that you like to use for going back to school, of course, there are so many other things, so please share. And thank you for being here. I hope your transition back to school is smooth and easy and that you have a great, healthy year. So talk to you guys later. Bye.